Today, there are many families all facing a very difficult decision. Who will care for their children while they work or go to school? This is a decision that is not to be taken lightly. It is important that parents choose a quality child care environment for their children. Children need quality care to grow and thrive. Finding a quality child care program that fits the needs of your child and your family can be a difficult and time-consuming task, but the benefits are tremendous. Children in quality care programs do better in school. They can develop better language and social skills and learn to have trusting relationships. While quality child care provides many benefits for young children, poor care can be harmful to them. It is up to you as a parent to make the right child care choices for your child. Today, there are many different kinds of child care available to families. In family daycare, small groups of children are cared for in the provider's home. Family daycare providers can participate in a voluntary registration and a self-certification process that includes safety and training requirements and limits the number of children. Child care centers are required to be licensed by the state and monitored by the Department of Health and Human Resources. They must meet state standards for child-staff ratios, teacher training, and group size. At a child care center, children are cared for in large groups. A child care center may be in a building designed for children or housed in churches or synagogues. Others are located in schools, which are convenient for parents attending classes. There are many pluses to enrolling your child in a child care center. In a child care center, children have the opportunity to learn how to get along with other children and adults. They are exposed to a variety of stimulating materials and experiences. If your child's caregiver is sick, the center will find a substitute. Some child care centers offer educational and social services for families. Center personnel often have educational degrees or training in child development. Many child care centers offer a sliding fee scale. Some child care centers have specialized programs for children who have disabilities. Child care centers are government regulated, ensuring that the minimal standards for health, safety, and supervision are met. But for some families, there are disadvantages to center-based child care. At a child care center, opening and closing hours are usually limited to certain hours, which can cause problems for parents with changing work or school schedules. Most centers have no arrangements for caring for sick children. If your child becomes ill, you will most likely be asked to take them home. Child care centers are often too expensive for parents who earn too much to qualify for government subsidies, but not enough to afford full tuition. If the staff turnover rate is high in a child care center, it can result in a great deal of instability in a child's life. Choosing a quality child care center is a very important decision for a family. They are selecting the environment in which their child will learn and grow. They are choosing who will care for and nurture their child in these very important years of life. When weighing the pros and cons of center-based child care, you must always think of the needs of your child. Consider your child's personality and what will provide them with the best experiences. Some children are more comfortable in large groups and do well in child care centers with large classes. However, if your child is uncomfortable in a crowd, you may need to look for a child care situation that has smaller groups of children. A child who is on the move may need a child care program that includes many choices in its activities and has a large outside play area with appropriate equipment. When choosing child care, you should consider how comfortable your child is in an active play situation. Many outgoing children react positively when multiple activities are going on. Some children feel safe participating in more structured and quiet activities. Consider the advantages and disadvantages of center-based child care and the personality of your child. You may decide that a child care center will best meet your family's needs for consistent, dependable care. but you still need to find a child care center that has a quality program for young children. You can begin your search by making a list of centers you are interested in learning more about. There are many resources you can use to find child care centers. Some centers advertise their services in the telephone book or local newspaper. Referrals can come from other parents or your pediatrician. Check churches, synagogues, schools, and colleges to see if they are operating child care programs in their buildings. One of your most important resources is your local child care resource and referral agency. They can help you locate a child care program close to your home, school, or workplace. After you've developed a list of child care centers you are interested in, make some phone calls. During your call to a child care center, introduce yourself, describe your child, and explain your family's child care needs.
When could I come in for an interview?
If the center seems promising, make an appointment to visit. Quality child care centers will encourage you to visit at any time you wish.
What age is your child?
When you are interested in a child care center, remember to follow through this procedure before you make a decision. Stop, look, and listen. Stop in and interview the center director or caregiver. Look everywhere you can at the center. Is everything you see consistent with quality child care? Listen to the children and the child care providers as they interact. A phone conversation with someone at a child care center will not give you enough information to make a good decision. You must first stop in at the center you are considering. Talk to the director and ask for a tour. It is probably best to make this first visit without your child so you can focus your attention on learning more about the center. Try to make an early appointment so you can observe the activity during the busiest part of the day. Interviewing a child care center director or caregiver gives you an opportunity to learn about a center's qualifications and philosophy. Have your questions written down beforehand so you aren't struggling to remember everything you need to ask. Ask to see the center's license. All child care centers should be licensed by the state. Some other questions you should ask during the interview include, what experience and training do the providers in the center have? How is staff turnover? High staff turnover can indicate an unstable environment for your child. How will you make my child behave? You need to know if the child care center's view of discipline is consistent with your family's ideas. What will you do if my child gets hurt or sick? What is the routine of a center? What will my child do while he or she is here? How much are your fees? What do they cover? When are they due? Is financial assistance available? Before you finish your interview, ask for a list of references, the names and phone numbers of other families who can tell you how the center cares for children. After you have finished the interview, you should tour the classrooms and other areas of a center. There is a lot to see in an active quality child care center. There are many active children, toys, artwork on the walls, and sometimes even a class pet. But remember, you are looking for elements of quality in the child care surroundings. If at any time you have any questions, be sure to ask or write them down so you can ask later. First, observe the room. Count how many children are being cared for. Then count how many adults are in the room. The fewer the number of children for each adult, the more attention your child will get. Make sure that the children's play area is large enough for all of the children and that it is clean and safe. There should be a variety of toys and learning materials, and they should be appropriate for the children's age level. Children's artwork should decorate the walls. It isn't important that it is neat and perfect. What is important is that the children have done the artwork themselves with little or no help from the teachers. View the surroundings through the eyes of a child. Are toys within reach? Is the furniture child size? Are posters and pictures hung at a child's eye level? Notice if self-help is encouraged in the classroom. Children should be encouraged to wash their own hands before mealtime and to help themselves while eating. Observe the children's meal. Is it nutritious? You should see fruits, vegetables, bread, and protein being offered to the children at lunchtime. Ask to see the kitchen. Is it clean? Food preparers should wear protective coverings. There should be posted menus and menu guidelines. The outdoor play area should be spacious and fenced in for safety reasons. The surface under the play equipment should be cushioned with a deep layer of wood chips or other soft material. There should be several pieces of safe play equipment in good condition. You can spend quite a bit of time watching all that goes on during the day at a child care center. But it is also important that you listen to what is going on as well. First, it may seem hard to listen to anything. A room full of excited children can be a room full of sounds. But the sounds you are looking for are ones that indicate that this child care program is one of quality. First, you need to realize that noise in a child care center is normal. If a classroom is too quiet, that may mean that there is not enough activity for the children. On the other hand, a classroom that is too noisy may indicate a lack of control. Listen to other sounds in the room. Do you hear music? Are there both loud and quiet games? At certain times of the day, you should be able to hear adults reading to children. If you hear a television, pay attention. Is the program educational? Watch to be sure the TV does not stay on for very long. You can learn the most about your child's caregivers by listening to how they interact with children.
Can you do that for me?
A quality caregiver speaks to children at eye level and listens to what they have to say.
What's your doggy's name you're going to put in here?
Sally.
They use words that show respect for the child and his or her feelings. A quality child care provider enjoys being with children, yet encourages them to learn independence. They speak in patient and cheerful tones.
Okay, push it on there. How you going to put it on there? Show me. You going to go on there? Push. Okay, push. Push, 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 push.
Quality child care providers model appropriate ways of speaking about people, places, and things.
You want me to get it started for you and then you'll pound it all the way in, okay?
While you are listening, don't forget to hear what the children are saying. They should sound happy and involved.
Thank you. Such good sharing, Steph.
They should feel free to talk with other adults.
What is that?
Listen for signs that the children have been taught appropriate ways to interact with others and settle conflicts.
All right, kids. Get off my island. Get off, kids. This is not I'm and I play here. My son plays here. Your son can play here if he wants to. But if he wants to, he can play. But not children.
After stopping in, looking around and listening to the sounds at a child care center, you may feel ready to decide whether or not the center meets your child's and your family's needs. But don't forget to follow up on references. Talk to parents and families involved with the center. Visit other centers so you can compare them and learn what is available. If you feel fairly certain that you would be happy with a particular child care center, make another visit before your final decision. This time, take your child. When you have chosen a quality child care center, you have completed the first step in providing your child with a positive early care experience. But your job as a parent isn't over. The caregivers at your child care center are part of your team. You need to work together to provide consistent, loving care for your child. From time to time, follow through the stop, look, listen steps to monitor the quality of your child's care situation. If you don't like what you see, tell the caregiver your worries. If nothing is done about your concerns, change providers.
Let's see, you got Barney, and what else?
As a parent, you can help your child care center by being involved and responsible. Pay your fees on time. Many centers depend solely on what parents pay to stay in operation. Participate in conferences that are arranged by your child's teacher. Be prompt when bringing and picking up your child. Your child needs to know that he or she can expect you at a certain time every day. Smooth functioning of the program depends on your promptness. Volunteer to help out with center activities. But when you do volunteer, follow through on your promises.
Can you think of anything else?
Be considerate of the health of the other children in the center. If your child has a contagious illness or feels miserable, make other arrangements for care. Parents who enroll their children in child care centers learn very quickly that their responsibility doesn't end when they leave them at the door. Just because you go to work or to school doesn't mean that your child will stop needing you. You can continue to be an important presence in your child's life by choosing the best child care possible and making sure that care continues in a way that benefits your child. After all, don't they deserve the best?